Hello and welcome to the Quiver channel. I'm Jason, your host. Just have my medication. Right. Okay, I'm here. I'm awake. I'm alive. Everyone's okay-ish. Gonna do some food. We can have some hot dog sausage as well, if she wants that. And generally, we are doing good. Things have been moved around a bit in the room. I've now got a third monitor. I've got more monitor, main monitors, thingy. Yeah. We are good. We are good. So, first things first, food. We're going to sausages. No, I'm going to those a couple of chicken slices. I can. Looks like I'm having sausage instead. Sausage. Put the sausages in first. Sausages go in. Sausages. The sausages are on. We are good. Audio is recording. Everything's recording. Yay! Let's start this going. So sausages are going. I cut my hair at 3 o'clock this morning. My brain just said, "You need to cut your hair. You need to cut your hair now." So I cut off all my hair that I was. My brain. I can't handle my hair being lightly above a centimetre. My hair starts to drive me crazy. So as soon as I reach about a centimetre of hair, the hair has to go. Things are quite cold this morning. My head's quite cold. But the temperature. So let's put the potatoes and carrots on before we pour. I uploaded a video about barrel jump. The process in a few minutes. Right. You're having a good morning. As I said, Daryl's just resting a lot more. Huh? Thing is, when it comes to looking after Beryl, because Beryl and Bertie were a joint thing between Paola and my mum, in theory, there should be no problem with me using a small amount of my mum's money to actually pay me. Just like I use a small amount of money to pay for the housing insurance and things like that in the house. Well, it always bothers me because and causes a bit of an issue because of the way Trevor acted and the way you use money. But I am power of attorney and these things have to be done. My mum loved these dogs, and these dogs were part of what kept mum at home when her dementia started. Because what we did was this. We more water to that. I want more water than that because we like to have babies. Okay, so all that's done. Feed the dogs before we start chatting because simply know how distracted I get if I don't sort the things out in a specific order. So we're going to sort things out in a specific order. And so it's dog food. Yeah, dog food. Oh, so it's sausage. It's bangers and mash today for me. And the dogs are going to have sausage too. And the dogs are going to have one of their treats. I can't really eat hot dog sausages anymore. I still get a tin of hot sausages in there. So the dogs have some nice treat for them. They like those sausages. So we're going to their normal dry food. I know if you let's get one of the hot dog sausages out. It's just these ones. Your basic UK hot dog sausages that come in a can. So what I do is I slice up one or two of these per meal. They don't have them all at the same time, but it's a little bit of extra protein. Love the taste of them. So give them a bit of something different per meal. Two sausages on each hers. Put one sausage on. Bertie's on a bit of a diet at the moment. He's been eating her food as well as his. When she hasn't felt up to doing eating. Hello, Anton. The doggy's food is just a bit of wet food, a little bit of dry food, and some hot dog sausages sliced up. So I'm going to put a bit of water in as well. I'm going to put a bit of water on top of it. You always put a bit of water in when you've got dry food. Doggy, I'm going to keep an eye on her and make sure she eats it. Bertie doesn't have it as well. She's quite, even if she just eats the hot dog sausages on top. Good for him. Hello, Raggy. How are you today? Do these few dishes before we sit down and chat. Well, We are here. We're having a little bit of a bouncy talk now. The dog's okay. She's quite hungry today, which is a good sign. Although she is only eating the hot dog sausage. Let's see if she eats her normal food as well as the hot dog sausages. So yeah, um, around about 2015, 2016 is when we moved into this house. Hello, Dr. Yvonne. We are having what's called bangers and mash, and I better probably explain that unless you're from the UK. Bangers and mash is mashed potatoes and sausages. So the sausages are cooking in the air fryer. The mash is cooking in the on the stove and the carrots. So why it's called bangers and mash is this: in World War One, there wasn't a lot of meat available for sausages. So what happened was the sausages that were given to the troops had a lot of water content. That's how they replaced it. And the water content meant that if when you heated up the sausages to a high temperature, they could explode. The water content turned to steam within the thingy and exploded. So that's where the name bangers came from. That is why sausages in the UK are called bangers. So bangers and mash, which is usually it's potatoes, gravy, and something else to go with it. So that's where bangers and mash came from, the actual name of it. Just going to go check, make sure it doesn't spill over. So it down a bit. Five. So yeah, that's the whole point. A lot of the food seems really gross until you try it like that. Um, Bean on toast is such a staple for every UK child and every. I wish I could still have it. I can't eat it at the moment anymore. Um, I'm limited in the food I can eat just due to my issues that I've got. But in about 2015, when we moved into the house next door, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, it's horrible when you're limited. When I moved into the house next door, my mum was diagnosed with early onset dementia. And so what we thought is we'd move into the house next door to where she lived so we could look after her. So we took down the fences between the garden and we had our dog had just died. So me and my mum, and she always loved dogs, had Bertie and Beryl. Oh, in fact, I'll show them you. We can show the doggies. Let's go because they're just eating at the moment. The doggies are eating at the moment. So my mum's managed to stay at home for like 3 years. We looked after her between the two houses and everything. Um, I know, and my mum's in a home now, end stage dementia. There's nothing really left of my mum, sadly. But Beryl's getting very old now, and she's having multiple problems. On Monday, we're going to have the vet come up and check out Beryl to make sure she's okay. Because if I, you as a pet owner, as someone who loves animals and that, the hardest thing you have to do is to put them first, and you can't let a dog suffer. You can't let a pet suffer. So Beryl's having a lot of problem. We think it might be bowel cancer or something like that. So we're going to have her checked out, and sadly, if she is, if it is, because she's lost a massive amount of weight this last month, Beryl has as well, which is another sign of cancer. So not much we can do about that. The vet's going to come out on Monday afternoon and give her a good checkup and see whether or not anything's thingy. It sucks. That's one of the hardest things about having dogs or cats, and that they never live as long as we do. I've had dogs all my life. I mean, thankfully, I'm not diabetic. My wife was diabetic, but I'm not diabetic. But what's wrong with me is in 2008. Yeah. Some animals, some cats and dogs live so long. Yeah. In 2018, I had bowel cancer, and they removed 40% of my bowels, 40% of my gastric system. And they removed 27 lymph nodes as well, just in case it had spread. I'm not cured, but I'm in remission. It's not a kind of cancer that will be cured. It will come back one day. We know that, but we don't. It could be years. It could be 10 years, 15 years before it comes back. So what happened was that alters your entire gastric system. Basically, 40% of your gastric system is removed, which means your body can't absorb food as easily. So it means what's happened is this. The mechanic of the body is this. When you eat food, it goes down in your stomach, and your stomach creates stomach acid to start the digestive process. Then it goes through the rest of your system, and it's all absorbed in and all that kind of, all fine. It's completely automatic. But the problem is for mine is this. My body doesn't work right anymore like that, which means any foods that take longer than normal to digest, like anything with fat in, pastries, ice cream, chocolate, cake, even things that are supposedly good for you. Like I can't have, but not just junk. Fresh salad. I can't eat fresh salad because it takes longer to digest. I can't eat soya. I can't eat brown bread. I can't eat wholemeal. I can't eat brown rice because it takes longer to digest. Because the thing is, all of those kind of things, I can't eat most types of meat. I can eat chicken and tuna, and as silly as it sounds, the cheapest kind of sausages, I can eat them. But they have to be really well cooked. And my carrots and potatoes have to be really well cooked. It almost has to be to the level of baby food, because the problem is otherwise my body creates too much stomach acid. That stomach acid goes up into my throat, tries to melt my throat, and could end up in my lungs. Not fun. It's like it's called GERD, and there's lots of reasons for gastro something reflux and that. But basically, no. So basically, I have to limit myself a lot to what kind of foods I can eat. Junk food is actually better for me. For example, I can eat, if you had 2 beef burgers in front of me, one of them was really nice bun with really nice wholemeal flour and the best vegetables, and the burger itself was made out of steak and just minced up with a little bit of herbs. That would basically kill me. A McDonald's burger, a Big Mac, I can eat because it's pretty much pre-processed and that. So I have to be very careful about. I can't eat tomatoes, citric, anything that boosts your stomach acid will cause bad things for me. I have to stop eating at 4 p.m. at night because if I lie down, stomach acid can go in my throat. And it's like, it sucks. I mean, why couldn't it be that I can't have bacon? I can't have bacon anymore. Not fair. I can't have bacon. And I can't have most dairy. I have to have oat milk instead of dairy. Funny thing though, funny thing. I can't eat eggs and I can't eat butter. No, no cheeses, no, most dairy I can't touch. It has to be I can have American cheese, you know, that the slices of processed cheese. My body can handle that, but not normal cheese. Because the nearer to non-processed it is. Yeah, so because all those things your body has to digest more. All the food that we eat, like if you only steam carrots, if you steam carrots, which is really healthy, then your body gets all the goodness, but it has to digest them more. If your body can't digest, those steamed carrots are not as good for you as carrots that have been basically nuked. You have to nuke them. So that's the situation I'm in. You have to go through what's called an elimination diet and slowly. So I'm limited to what kind of food I can eat. Very much so. It's no coffee, no tea, no alcohol, no. There is okay. This is for the last 3 years. The only drink I've had is this. These two things from Morrison's. This is a cordial. It's an apple cordial, and this is a apple and elderflower juice. And these are the only things that we've found that doesn't set off my stomach. So, coffee, tea, can't have sugar. Water, no water's fine. So water and them. That's what I have. I just have water. This has got water. This has got cold water, filtered water, and a little bit of juice. But it does suck when that's the only stuff. And so slowly over time, I have to, now and then I have an experiment. I will buy in something and I will use it for, and see whether it affects me. So I will buy in something new and try it. Yeah. Human bodies are really weird sometimes. Human bodies are really weird. I can't have chickpeas. I can't have kidney beans. I love kidney beans. I can't have baked beans anymore. And of course, can't have tomato sauce because you can't have tomatoes. The only kind of tomato sauce I can have is the kind of tomato sauce that's really processed that you get on pizza. Now, most pizzas I can't have. But funnily enough, I can have Domino's pizza because Domino's pizza, no matter where you have it, is done in these great big industrial franchise ovens, and the tomato sauce that they have on the actual thing is so far removed from actual tomatoes that and the kind of cheese they use and everything is actually okay for me. But pretty much any other pizza from anywhere else, I can't. And if people cook pizzas, everything's got to be really cooked really well. The downside to this as well, in the UK, we do the measurement of calories. An average adult has to have 2,000 to 2,200 calories a day. That's the normal thing. It's higher if you're exercising or you're an athlete or something like that. But 2,200 calories. I have to eat every single day 3,300 calories because I've lost 40% of my absorption ability. Yeah, yeah. So you're basically the opposite of me now. You have to eat the non-processed, and I have to eat the processed. And yeah, so for example, in 2020, if you look back at one of my videos in November of 2020 or 2021, I think it was, I had an illness which meant that I couldn't eat for a while, and I lost 15 kilograms of weight in 1 month. So even though I'm overweight now, I've got to keep that weight because I need so much calories. Because I need so many calories, if I, for any reason, can't eat, I will lose weight really fast. So I need the buffer. I'm not allowed to diet. And yet, like you, I have trouble absorbing potassium and stuff like that now. So I have to eat a lot of potatoes. Like my meal today is going to be quite big, but that's because I have to eat like 3,000, like 1/3 on top of food. And I can't, and the thing is, normally this would be fine. I'd be happy to have 3,300 calories if I could have cake. I could do that by just eating cake or eating a chocolate bar, couldn't I? I could do that, but no, I can't have any of those things. So when you cut out all the high fat stuff, it's yeah, 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 it's crazy, isn't it? How things can mess up the body and change the body genetically and that all things for other reasons. And then people don't know how lucky they are to be able to eat anything they want. So yeah, you're in like the complete opposite situation to me because my wife was diabetic type 2, and we did solve that diabetes by radically changing her food diet. But unfortunately, Paola was very ill anyway, so she passed away in 2018. So we did all we could, but lots of damage was done to her body, which caused her kidneys and everything to fail. Basically, you're new to the channel, so you don't know the story. 1998, she was diagnosed. She was only 21 at the time. She was diagnosed with an incurable cancer, and this cancer, you couldn't get rid of it, but you could force it into remission with medication, but the medication would slowly kill you. So she slowly lost her kidneys, failed, her heart damage, arthritis, and everything. So the disease was called acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and it was the biggest complication was called Philadelphia chromosome positive. It basically meant that at 21 she was told you're going to die either very quickly by the cancer or you're going to die very slowly by being on these drugs that will keep it away but will damage your body over time. We got to spend 20 years together after that. We fought it for 20 years. Um, so, but it damaged everything about it. Yeah, yeah, we got to. It's it's hard when things like that happen, but the thing she taught me to appreciate life. I mean, the other side to this is the other side to this. I mean, I'm probably one of the most. The universe seemed to think that I needed a lot of things going on. No, we weren't able to have any children. You see, I'm autistic. I'm autistic. I'm suffering. I'm autistic. I'm officially diagnosed with ADHD. I've got bipolar and PTSD. So I deal with all that as well as all the rest of the stuff going on. And yet, 7 days after my wife died, I was diagnosed with bowel cancer. Oh, oh God. I'm sorry about that. It sucks. I would have loved to have children. Sometimes our bodies are so messed up, and sometimes we 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 when we grow up, we think that doctors know everything, and we very quickly learn that they don't. And we have so many situations that we deal with. That's why I'm on here a lot. So I this stream in the morning isn't just a stream. It makes sure that I eat properly, because if I'm on here talking to all of you, I will cook a better meal for myself. And I remember to eat. And I remember to take my medication. The first thing I do when I turn on the stream is to take my medication. So this stream is part of my therapy. Yeah. That's not good. Yeah. And so we have to adapt, don't we? We have to deal with stuff. And people don't realize how lucky they are if they have their health. I've always said to people that money can come and go, career can come and go, everything else can be dealt with. But if your health degrades, if you have health problems, yeah, this is all part. Yeah. Oh God, yeah. So I do this. I do VR streams. I do VR upstairs, and I connect. I use my noise cancelling headphones and everything to deal with it all. So VR is amazing to help with that. If you have a chance of using VR, VR is amazing to help your brain distract yourself, to be in a different world. That really does help. So virtual reality can be amazing to help with all that kind of thing. It helped me with my PTSD and everything. Lovely to meet you. Yay. Yeah, I've been doing this since 2019. And I talk about all the stuff and that because people don't appreciate what they've got. And people don't understand. Oh, right. I've got an important thing to help you with that. Whether I don't know the other ability to try, and it sounds weird, but it does work. If you ever get access to a Quest 2 for virtual reality, once you get past the nausea in that, once you get used to it, try sleeping in VRchat. As easy as it sounds, I know a lot of people, and myself have tried it. Something about lying down in virtual reality, once you get used to it, and spending a couple of nights sleeping in virtual reality, resets your brain. I know people who've got insomnia who do it. I myself, it helped me get past my PTSD. For my PTSD, I couldn't lie in a normal bed for 3 years. For 3 years, I had to sleep on an air mattress. But using VR and sleeping in VR helped me be able to, now I can sleep in a normal bed. Yeah. So it helped with my PTSD a lot. Sleeping in virtual reality really helped. I know people who do work shifts, and when they come off their night shift so they can reorientate to day shift, they spend a couple of nights sleeping in VR. It sounds crazy, but it actually really does work. There's a lot of people, and the specific worlds in VRchat set up where you can make them private, where you can turn down the volume and everything. Yeah, with the headset, the VR headset. Basically, a VR headset, you put it on, you lie down with it on, and you go to sleep in VR. Something about it, waking up in a galaxy, or waking up in a little log cabin, or waking up in a thingy and sleeping like that, really helps with thingy. It's the only thing that has helped me with my PTSD in that. Something about it being a complete shift for your consciousness. You can wake up on the moon with looking at the galaxies and watching falling stars and that. There's lots of custom worlds, and it helps so much with. Once you have to get used to it. Of course, the first few times it probably won't do anything, because you'll be like, I've got a headset on. I can't go to sleep because I've got a headset on. But once you actually get used to it, you don't have to do it all the time. A couple of nights will reset you. I mean, for example, Nothing worked. Nothing helped me. Every time I laid down in bed, my PTSD kicked in. Yeah. There's actually worlds in VRchat where one of my favorite worlds to sleep in has a wonderful gigantic window pane, and outside there is this weird big rainstorm going on, and you can turn the lighting down to almost zero. You turn the safety features on so no one can interrupt you, and you just lay down. It's a lot of people sleep in VR, and it's helped a lot of people. So if you ever want to talk to me about that, go on my Discord and that we can chat and that, because I've used VR and stuff like that so much to help with PTSD and things like that. Because as far as your brain, panic attacks, VR is very good for dealing with panic attacks and anxiety as well. I don't know if you, okay, panic attacks are some of the most, people who don't deal with panic attacks have no freaking idea how scary and dangerous they can be. They can cause real issues for your body. They can cause illnesses. You can end up needing to go to hospital. You can be panic attacks can be very, very bad. And most people don't understand how much. So here's a tip. Here's a way that I've dealt with panic attacks before. And this is what I teach other people how to use. And what I tell you now is going to sound really crazy, but just hear me out. Find something that you either really hate or really, really love. And by that I mean something that's either a phobia or something that you really, really like. So let's, for example, say you don't like spiders. What you do is this. You get a playlist Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's on. When you're if you have a put together a playlist on YouTube or in VR if you can do it in VR that has spiders in. Now you may think, oh my god, that's going to freak me out. I can't do that. Exactly. What it does is this. Think of it this way. If you create a playlist of something that you really hate that makes you feel icky, when you're having a panic attack, when your brain is in that mode, that feedback mode of sending you down into the dark of panic, of anxiety, and you can't break free, if you look at something else, something that you're controlling, like if you've got a phobia for spiders, if you play videos and watch the spider videos, your brain, your fight or flight reflex in your brain says, that's a spider, I hate that. And it takes away the energy from the panic attack. It's got to be something that you don't like. If you have a problem with vertigo, watching someone climb a mountain free thingy on YouTube, to pick something that scares you, that freaks you out, that makes you feel sick, something that you really, really don't like, make a playlist up. Yeah. Yeah. You make a playlist up of those thingies, and when you're having a panic attack, turn one of them on and watch them, and it will draw away the energy because your fight or flight reflex, the base part of your brain that goes beyond everything, will kick in and say, okay, we can either deal with this panic attack or we can deal with this very real terror that I've got here. And you're switching away from the panic attack. You're switching your brain's base abilities to something that it thinks it's more of a threat. And it gives your brain a second to breathe, to get you out of the cycle of the panic attack. It's worked for so many people. We've got to pick something that scares the hell out of you because you've got to engage that base part of your brain that makes you go. You've got to mentally make your brain go, oh shit, and say, okay, I can deal with this panic attack that's triggered by something that happened to me or some trauma and all that. Or I can deal with this freaking thing which scares the hell out of me. The thing about this thing that scares the hell out of you, like vertigo and that, you can turn the video off as soon as after 5 minutes. You've got complete control of turning it off. And then when your brain switches back, the panic attack is removed. Does that make sense? Until you've tried it. But I know people who don't like horror movies, who've got a list of films like The Grudge and that. And when they're having a panic attack, they actually watch a horror movie that scares them because their brain, fight or flight, kicks in. Oh, God. Oh, God, that's horrible. That sucks. Yeah. People like us have to help each other out. People are, yeah. People like us have to help each other out. Now, I'm not saying anything I would try would work for you. But we have to help each other out because we know what it's like. You can't just shake off a panic attack. You can't just shake off PTSD. Anybody who tells you that deserves to be kicked in the nuts. Seriously, they deserve a good fucking slapping because no, these things wreck your body, wreck your mind. You can't just shake it off. Yeah. Yeah. You've got to try different things and find out things that just gonna what happens. Things are ready now. We're going to put the food out. We're going to put the food out and I'll show you the food once it's ready. I'll explain what I'm doing. But yeah, if you ever need to chat about this kind of things, feel free to contact me because the whole point is when I'm streaming, it doesn't matter if I'm streaming games, it doesn't matter if I'm doing else. When it comes down to it, helping this kind of stuff far more important. We will always stop whatever we're doing, chat about this kind of sucky stuff. So we try to help each other because you can't. Another thing that you've probably learned, like I have, you can't face these things alone. These kind of problems like to isolate you, don't they? My Discord, let me go for you. And a lot of the people on the Discord are people who deal with this kind of thing. We've sort of all been attracted to each other. So let me grab that. Oh yeah, that's the Discordy thing. So yeah, we're always there. We've got a chill channel where people chat and talk about this kind, and we're just sort of there for each other. Yeah. So yeah, it's more people need to talk about this kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it isolates you, doesn't it? Depression is one of the worst things. It isolates you. One of the worst things depression does, it makes you feel like you're all alone and you shouldn't have help, which is the worst thing possible. You know as well as I do, when you're dealing with depression, you never, ever face it alone. You need something to get your head out because you're facing, when it comes to depression, you're facing your worst enemy. Enemy that knows you better than anybody else. It's you. Knows every single one of your weaknesses. Knows every single one of your faults and that, and it can tear everything apart. People don't understand how bad some of this stuff. Potatoes. We've got the carrots on there already. We'll do the potatoes. first of all, bring away. Let's get some more gravy out. There's two specific types of gravy I can have. So we need the swirly thing. We need the swirly thing. We've got to do the get the swirly thing. Now, now doing mashed potato, because I can't have butter or margarine or anything like that, and I can't have normal milk, what I do is to make mashed potato, I use oat milk. Oh. So I use oat milk. And funnily enough, even though I can't have eggs, I can't have the one type thing I can have. So the one thing I can have is mayonnaise, because the eggs in mayonnaise are so processed. So I use oat milk and mayonnaise to make creamy potatoes. Yeah, it just shows an example of how weird, how strange the human body can be. This is my masher. I bought this from Amazon, and it's the best potato masher I've ever had because it's made of steel, and it's basically, it's one of the most solid things I've ever had. I've always had mashers break down, but this one's like a damn power fist from freaking Fallout. So yeah, I can't have boiled potatoes normally. I have to have them mashed now. Basically, I'm like that. It has to be level almost of my body to thingy. Match goes on in. I'll show you all this once it's all on. Let's save some of it for later anyway. Let's get the gravy because the gravy done. Gravy, getting in the way. Let's move. Let's get the camera out so we can show this. There we are. That's the mashed potatoes, sausages. Honeybee. Hey, hey. Honeybee. Oh, yes. Hello, Castaple. And Jaxt. Squiggles. So we're good. It's a really nice little community we've got here. Many people have. My doggy's Beryl's not feeling very well. Let me turn off that. we're going to have the vet out on Monday to actually have a look at, check whether she's okay, because she's getting very old now and she's having issues. And Bertie's okay. Waiting for a couple of deliveries today. Beryl is, both of them actually around between 14 and 15 years old, actually. We had them when they were 6 years old from a rescue. They rescue dogs from a charity. So we always try and get that's one of the problems. They don't live as long as us. So we're going to have the vet to come out on Monday to check her over, because my main concern is I want to make sure if she's in pain and that, if she's in pain, I don't let her suffer. So I want the vet to come out and give her a checkup and see whether she's okay. So Beryl is sleeping at the moment. Let me show you. Beryl is sleeping there. And Bertie is here, because Bertie always wants a love, don't you? Yeah, they're both very, very old now, but they're wonderful. But yeah, Beryl's gone downhill this last month. She's lost a lot of weight. And she's having, when she goes to the bathroom now, there's blood in her stools. So we think it's probably bowel cancer or something. Got to look after the quality. She's still okay, so they're coming out Monday to check on her and make sure. I'll go by what the vet says. I'm not going to make her. Yeah, that's that's the whole point. Dogs, cats, any pet you have, they give you unconditional love for their entire life. It doesn't matter how depressed you are. It doesn't matter what you're dealing with. It doesn't matter whether you've got money or not. They give you love. And so you have to do it in the return. You have to look after them and make sure when it comes to it. Yeah. Yeah. They don't care. They don't judge us. They're there for us no matter what. Yeah. And so when it comes to the end of their life, we have to do what's best for them. We have to put them first. So, yeah. All we can do. I'm going to miss a lot. But yeah, she's lost a lot of weight this month. And she can't get onto the sofa or anything. Can't get onto the bed either. I have to lift her up. So she's not doing well. But she's not. So, Carol, come here. Usually she'd want to get on get on my lap here, but no, she's not feeling very well. They're beautiful. But people who know the channel know that Beryl likes to. She's very much into computers and that. She likes to watch TV screens and she likes to watch phone screens and everything like that. Beryl. It's an old UK female name, Beryl. Sort of out of fashion these days. Beryl, not Barrel. Beryl. Anyway, I am going to go eat now. I'm going to eat the foodie. The doggies will join me on the sofa. I will bring Beryl up to be on there if she wants to be on there with me. Oh, thank you, Scumbag. Scumbag. I love that name. You have an interesting name, Scumbag. Lovely to meet you all. And remember, you can all come on. Remember, we've got the Discord. If you ever want to come on the Discord, I'm on there most of the time. This is the Discord. And Yeah. People matter. Animals matter. Pets matter. There's something that happens with pets. You'll only know this if you have pets. Is animals that we meet outside that are basically in their natural environment. They are primary procreate, shelter, and food. Procreate, shelter, food. They don't have time to evolve and be themselves. But as everybody can tell you, every single pet you have has their own personality, their own. They develop into their own person being, don't they? Anytime you want to chat to me, come on the Discord. I'm always around on there, and then if you want to chat in private messages or anything, I'm always there. And Keegan's here as well. I'm just about to log out. The bangers and mash is ready to eat, so I'm going to go and sit and eat some bangers and mash. And then me and the dogs, and then I'll be upstairs and probably chatting on stream and that it. So I will say bye-bye for now. You wonderful, special, amazing people. And when I say that you're all amazing, when I say that you're all wonderful, I mean it. And why do I say that? Because part of my autistic nature means I can't lie. I couldn't tell you I think you're wonderful unless I actually believe that. And the reason I believe that is that I believe that all the people that I meet like this are wonderful. And the reason is this: you're all amazing. This simple, factual, logical situation. You dealt with yesterday. And you dealt with the day before that. And you dealt with every day before that. You have dealt with every challenge, and you are still here today. You've dealt with all your pain, all your suffering. You've lived a life, and you never think that how strong you really are. And you're still here today. That means, actually, logically, you are amazing. So I can say you are awesome. I can say you're amazing at the end of my thingy, because if I didn't actually believe it, I wouldn't be able to say it. The fact that you're here right now, today, means if you think about it, every single day before this, you won. Some were good, some were bad, but you're still here today, which means you're amazing. You are awesome. I'm so happy to know you. So, bye-bye for now. I will upload this as a video as well. So, bye-bye. Bye-bye.